What if I told you that the reason your knees feel shaky has nothing to do with how old you are? What if there's one simple mistake, something most people over 60 do every single day, that's quietly stealing the strength right out of your legs? Here's what happens when knees go weak and nobody catches it in time. First, you start to feel a little unsteady. You slow down, you reach for the wall. Then comes the hesitation before you stand up. The tighter grip on the railing. The second thought before going somewhere alone. And little by little, without anyone telling you, without you even deciding it, you start doing less, depending on others more. That is not aging. That is something fixable. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that mistake is, and 5 simple exercises you can do right at home, no gym, no equipment, that start rebuilding that strength today. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share is something most people never hear, and once you see it, it all starts to make sense. Subscribe right now. Hit that button below. Every week I share simple, honest ways to keep your body strong and your life your own. No fluff, no nonsense, just what actually works. They walk less. They stop doing the activities that bother them, and it feels like the right call. You're protecting yourself. You're being careful. But here's the problem, and this is the part nobody explains clearly. Your knees don't get stronger from rest. They get stronger from gentle, controlled movement. Think of it like this. If you stopped using your right hand for 2 months, it wouldn't heal. It would weaken. Your grip would get lighter. The muscles would shrink a little. The joints would get stiff. The same thing happens with your knees. The muscles around the knee, the ones that hold it steady and absorb impact when you walk, they need to be used to stay strong. When we stop moving, those muscles quietly fade. And then the joint carries all the load on its own. That's when things start to feel worse. So the answer isn't complete rest. It's the right kind of movement. Safe, simple, and done consistently. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you now. Before we get into the exercises, if this is making sense to you, drop a strong knees in the comments right now. It takes 2 seconds, and it tells me you're ready to do this. Go ahead, I'll wait. Part 3, the 5 exercises. Stand or sit in a clear space. Demonstrate each movement as you explain it. Speak slowly and clearly. Exercise 1. Sit to stand assisted. Why it helps. This is the most functional movement in your daily life. Getting up from a chair uses the exact same muscles that protect your knees when you walk, climb stairs, or get out of a car. If this feels hard, everything else feels hard too. How to do it? Step by step. Sit at the edge of a sturdy chair. Feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart. Lean your chest slightly forward, not a big lean. Just enough so your weight shifts over your feet. Press through your heels and slowly rise to standing. Then, and this part matters, sit back down slowly. Don't drop. Control it all the way down. That's 1 rep. Do 8 to 10. Common mistake. Pushing off with your hands. Your arms can rest on the chair lightly for balance, but try not to use them to push yourself up. Let your legs do the work. How to progress. Once this feels easy, try crossing your arms over your chest and doing it without hand support at all. The next exercise is one most people have never tried, and it's usually the first one where people feel the difference within a few days. Exercise 2. Seated knee extension. Why it helps. The muscle on the front of your thigh, the quadricep, is the primary protector of your knee. When it's strong, your knee. When it's weak, every step puts pressure in the wrong places. This exercise targets it directly, with 0 impact. How to do it. Sit tall in a chair with your back supported. Slowly lift 1 foot until your leg is straight out in front of you. Hold for 2 seconds at the top. Feel the front of your thigh engage. Lower your foot slowly back to the floor. Don't let it drop. Do 10 reps on each side. Common mistake. Rushing through it. The slower you lower your leg, the more work your muscle is doing. Slow is strong here. How to progress. Add a light ankle weight. Even a 1-pound bag of rice works once body weight feels easy. Next up is one I get asked about constantly from people who feel winded just walking to the mailbox. This one changes that. Exercise 3, standing march, high knees, why it helps. This builds the coordination between your hips, knees, and ankles that makes walking feel smooth and confident. It also gets your heart moving a little, which is good for your joints. How to do it. Stand behind a sturdy chair, both hands lightly on the back for balance. Lift your right knee to about hip height, or as high as comfortable. Lower it with control. Then lift the left. Keep alternating, like you're marching in place. Do this for 30 seconds, then rest. Repeat twice. Common mistake. Leaning back or gripping the chair hard. Stand tall. Use the chair for balance only, not to hold yourself up. How to progress. Try marching without holding the chair. Even just a few seconds of hands-free marching is a big win for balance. The next one surprises a lot of people. It looks simple, but this is the exercise that most directly connects to climbing stairs, and it's one you can do anywhere. Exercise 4, mini squat with chair, why it helps. A full squat can be too much when knees are weak, but a partial squat, just a small bend, trains the same muscles with a fraction of the stress. This is how you rebuild the squat pattern safely. How to do it. Stand in front of a chair, facing away from it, feet hip-width apart. Hold on to something stable in front of you, a counter, a dresser, the back of another chair. Slowly bend your knees just slightly, like you're about to sit down but stop halfway. Hold for 2 seconds, then straighten back up. The motion is small. You're not going all the way down, just a gentle controlled dip. Do 10 reps, common mistake, letting your knees cave inward. Keep them tracking right over your second toe. If your knees want to fall in, widen your feet a little. How to progress. Go a little deeper each week, as long as there's no sharp pain. Over time, you'll find yourself doing a real squat without even thinking about it. Last one. And this one is specifically for people who feel unsteady when moving sideways, like stepping out of a car, stepping around a grandchild, or navigating a tight space. Exercise 5, controlled sidestep. Why it helps. Most of our knee training happens moving forward and back, but real life requires side-to-side stability too. The muscles along the outer hip and thigh, the ones that keep your knee from buckling sideways, only get trained when you move laterally. This exercise fills that gap. How to do it. Stand with your feet together, hands lightly on a counter or wall for support. Take one slow, deliberate step to the right, about shoulder width. Bring your left foot to meet it. Pause for a moment, find your balance, then step right again. Take 5 steps to the right, then 5 steps back to the left. That's 1 set. Do 3 sets. Common mistake, shuffling fast and losing control. This exercise is about control, not speed. Move slowly. Feel the outer hip working on the standing leg as you step. How to progress. Try it without holding the wall. Or add a slight bend in your knees as you step, which increases the challenge significantly. Now here's what I want you to do with all of this. Don't try to do all 5 exercises today. That's not the goal. Pick 2, just 2 that felt most doable, maybe the sit to stand and the seated extension, or the march and the side step, whatever you felt most ready for. And do those 2 exercises every day for the next 7 days. That's the whole challenge. 2 exercises, 7 days. As you go, I want you to notice 3 things. First, how does getting up from a chair feel on day 7 compared to day 1? Second, when you walk, does it feel slightly steadier, slightly more controlled? Third, how do you feel in your body? Not just physically. That confidence that comes from knowing your legs are working for you again. I'm not going to promise you a miracle in 7 days. That's not how this works. But I will tell you this. 7 days of consistent movement does something that 7 days of rest never will. It sends a signal to your body that these muscles still matter, and your body responds to that. I want to end with something that I think gets lost in most fitness content. Strengthening your knees isn't about going back to being 20 years old. That's not the goal. Nobody expects that. The goal is simpler than that, and more important. It's being able to get up when you want to walk where you want to go, to climb the stairs in your own home, to keep showing up for the people you love, without needing to ask for help to do the things you used to do without thinking. That's what strong knees protect. Not just your joints, your independence. And that is absolutely worth 7 minutes a day. I put out videos like this every week, and I don't want you to miss what's coming next. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next one.